Hey everybody, it's January the 23rd, 2017. What I want to talk about tonight is I want to float the possibility that, actually, I don't even want to float the possibility. I just want to tell you what's going on, more or less. And that is that there's I mean, you hear a lot of crazy stuff from me. I gotta be honest with you. It's gotten out of control at some point with the type of stuff that I've published, and I just really kind of want to get away from it and get more into just commentary and just talking about life as I see it, and less documenting little cases of, where the government's trying to stop me from seeing something or stop me from saying something, and then I got to record it, upload it, record something that they did to stop me from showing that, and upload it, and it just went on, and that was pretty crazy. I had a lot of death threats come out of that, and I just it just wouldn't ever stop. And you know, there was people that I found out were living right next door to me. People came over my speakers and were talking about killing me. People came over my speakers and were talking to me, like just picking up a conversation, uh, with me about what was I doing at that moment, and just on two occasions that happened. Um, and that happened over a period of time, and hasn't really happened that much since, because I went on the internet and started talking about it just nonstop, amongst other things. But I did do a lot of that just as really leverage to try to make a point whenever people did a lot of confronting me, saying, "Oh, conspiracy," and confronting that whole stupidity, which I really just like to ignore that. And if it gets out of control, I may just stop letting people even comment on my videos, because it's not that you shouldn't be allowed to say it. It's just that if I'm gonna have a problem not engaging with it. So the point of the story is that, you know that, amongst other things, like I said, it just got out of control, and whatever. I mean, here's the problem. My life has been totally insane. I've seen stuff. I mean, I had already got off probation, and then they came out of their jurisdiction and came and got me. And I had this video called "Ron Paul on FEMA camps" going on, and it had reached a point where it had got to 2 or 3 thousand views a day, and then all of a sudden it just stopped for 3 days. Anyways, it got out of control. It's kind of hard to even go into all the details, but they basically shot the video, and then whenever I explained to my audience what was left of it, I didn't even make the video, to be honest with you. I just reposted it, but the kid got upset. But I mean, his tag was in the video the whole time, which he didn't really get upset, but he just said, I want credit, and I would have gave him credit, but he said he wanted it in the description. It was on the video. Anyways, the point of the story is that, I just either way, the point of the story is that they just, I guess I feel like I need to bring this kid up again. But either way, he did the video, okay? Anyways, the point of the story is that he, oh God, what was I even going to say? The point of the story is that when that went down, they came out of, I already got off probation. They came out of jurisdiction to get me with a SWAT raid, literally a SWAT raid. And there was like, I mean, there was 4 or 5 dudes in bulletproof vests, and they were about to kick the door in, and I was like, okay, I just came outside and let them take me, because it was so freaking crazy, and they could see me in there. They were just completely surrounding me, and so while I was in there, and then I'm not saying that they tried to kill me, but they moved me up to this floor, and then the temperature was about 30 degrees in there, and then I got sick and I couldn't get medical attention, and I think that just happens in jail, to be honest with you. But I think that for sure I was trying to be shut up, because when I got out, Judge Napolitano's show, which was on the air, was then gone. I know this is just getting crazier. So either ways, look, I actually had something I wanted to talk about besides this, and what I wanted to talk about was there was but that was I mean, there was actually a week between in 2011 between July the 16th and the 18th for 7 days when they shut down YouTube, and it was because of this video that they had tried to take off the internet. It was about $3.5 trillion that had gone missing, and the video went missing, and I was in a unique position to expose it. And so that happened, and Judge Napolitano was off his show for those 7 days. And there was some kind of link in there, and I could never figure out what the hell it was, but just, whenever the dominoes start falling, it's like they just fall everywhere. And I could never stop it from happening. You know what I mean? That was all out of my control. I couldn't even expose it enough to make it stop. To be honest with you, I was so wore out with everything else at that point that I basically never even tried to bring that up. And this is the first time I've even brought it up. And this is wearing me out, to be honest with you. I'm about to start sweating right now because this is wearing my ass out. And I don't mean to be a prima donna, but I really want to get onto something else. What I'm trying to say is that my life is crazy, and there's musical groups out there, major musical groups. In particular, there's one called the Acacia strain. And these people made an album where they detailed to me what my life was like between the years of 2005 to 2000 and, well, at the latest, I mean, it was between the ages of 21 and 22 for sure. Because they went into how much money I was making at the age of 21 and 22. And what I'm trying to say is that they basically, here's what their songs are about, okay? That song right there was just letting me know in the song, The Hills Have Eyes, is about how me and my girlfriend are being watched. They know how much money I'm making. They know everything about me, and that there's people who want me dead. That's what the song says. I didn't even understand this shit forever because it just went over my head. I didn't understand how somebody could come after me for making anybody who was making 25,000. I thought that was just some kind of insult, like just a number you came up with, But it wasn't, and it was more like a threat on my life. So the point of the story is that they did that in order to just let me know because I realized too much stuff. Okay, I know that sounds really fucking crazy to a lot of people, but I mean when they say in the song, that they're wolves who dress as sheep, that's literally what they mean. And what they're trying to say is that they're wolves in sheep's clothing, And then at the end of the song, he says that he's done all these horrible things, and he sticks his tongue out like a perv. And the reason why he did it was because he was letting us know that not only is he disgusting and uncloaking, but he's proud of it. Because when you uncloak, you don't just half uncloak. You do the whole fucking thing. And what I'm trying to say is that this individual, and I may have to go and do another video about this, and I may have to make 20 videos about this, but it's a lot of backbiting. It's talking about how I have a beautiful girlfriend and I'm only making a certain amount of money, which I was younger, and yeah, I was only making a certain amount of money, but I mean, literally, it just doesn't even matter what I was doing at that point. I mean, I had some other stuff going on, I'll put it like that, And it's like all this compliments, you know? It's like talking about, like he sits there and he compliments me, and then he lets me know that he's stalking us, and then he tells me that he wants me dead. And I just tell you, this is some of the most probably complex shit that you're ever gonna encounter in life. Because once you get to the point where you've gone down that road so far, they start to deploy some of the most weirdest shit and just trying to mindfuck people. You know what I mean? And like I said, I mean, I had 100 followers on, I had 100 friends on MySpace at that time period. How in the hell did he know who I was? How in the hell did he know how much money I was making? And he goes, and in the song he goes, now your aggression, now she's a beauty queen, and then at that same part of the song he's talking about how much money I'm making, 25,000. He's letting me know in that specific time frame, because that was what my dad would always say. I would sit down across from him and I would just go nuts about different things that I thought should have been going certain ways in the company, and just getting rowdy. I mean, I was young. I got a lot of stuff done, and to be honest with you, sometimes I can still get angry like that. But I realize that I've just learned so much by now that I know human nature's like this. You got to do things this way, and then you can get things done. And it's just, and it's not about who gets the credit, and it's not about, because and realizing that at the end of the day, people are gonna. Because I just felt like people were just going to screw me. I didn't know what was going on. Anyways, I was young, man, and stupid, and it was just, that was something he would always say to me. Your aggression, your this aggression. My dad was always saying this aggression bullshit, this aggression bullshit. Always was, that was a word that he repeatedly used. And I think he just knew that was going to stand out in my mind as something that, he knew that I was going to know that he had been watching me so long that it would just fuck with my head. You know what I mean? And that's his whole point. You know what I mean? And so you see him standing up there talking about all this liberty-oriented shit. It's just so then he can get. It's just so then he can get you believing, or try to use it as some kind of leverage to have somebody who really is higher on the hit list than you're gonna be after you get done talking about all that, or think you're, like Judas Iscariot, gonna go do something and win them over after you've crossed them, which is what you're doing. Basically, you probably are a little bit more bottom of the barrel than Judas Iscariot, because he just kind of fucked up at the end, and you're kind of fucking up from the beginning. So maybe you will be rewarded somehow. I don't fucking know, but I don't think that's gonna happen, to be honest with you, because by the time you get done getting exposed on my fucking website, and I'm not trying to brag, but it's gonna be, and I do have a instinct to want to attack you. And to see something bad coming your way. But with that being said, I just don't think it's going to be fun. You know what I mean? I don't think that people are going to not believe me. They're going to go through my site and say, wow, look at all this, and he's probably being honest. Some people will truly believe me. And I mean, I wouldn't want to be in that position. I don't know. There's people out there that treat this kind of stuff like crack. This kind of video could go viral. Not today, or maybe next week, or next month, or, but one day you're going to look up and it's just going to be going crazy. Because when people find out about deep and far-reaching conspiracies on YouTube, they treat it like crack. They're addicted to it. And they send it to other people, and they just stay up all night watching this stuff. And it just gets to be something that, there's a cult of people out there, I'm telling you right now, that know what's going on, okay? And I just don't even know what's gonna happen to you, man. I don't want to get too far into what I want to happen to you, because I mean, God only knows the extent of what people have done stalking me and shit like that, you know? I mean, Jesus Christ, do you think you're in some kind of exclusive fucking group and you're gonna ruin my fucking life with that shit? I've got people come over my fucking speakers and tell me that they're gonna fucking kill my ass. I got people living next door stalking my ass. You know what I mean? I made a video with proof of it, you know? And you can see me in the reflection of the truck with my bed in the truck, and you see me taking a picture of these people. They're walking out of the street holding cots in their underwear. Because it was the day I was moving out, they just moved out right in front of me. Because I already got them to admit what they were doing. They just didn't give a shit anymore. I don't know who the fuck they were. Never seen them before in my life. And honestly, the kind of videos that I've published, it's real weird because they don't even have that kind of views, you know? I've got maybe one video that has a few 100,000 views, which, yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I've got those videos where I've documented censorship. They've got about 100 views apiece. It doesn't justify all of this. I'm just telling you, man, the fucking world is screwed up. And, holy shit. I mean, I start thinking about this stuff, and I'm just like, it's like I want to hold that moment of just being mesmerized by it, and not get into the just blinding rage of, you know, oh man, my arm is killing me. I'm sorry. This has just kind of been happening recently. My cold pack exploded the other night, and I gotta get another one. Anyways, the freezer is just building up frost. I need to figure out what's going on. Oh, anyways, but the you know, like I said, it's just crazy as shit, and like I said, it's just crazy as shit. You know what I mean? And I just don't know what's going on, and I just know that there's people out there that don't want us to know stuff, and there's people out there that will threaten your life, you know, if you find out too much or try to tell people what's going on. And I get it. I mean, you think that you're living in a concealed environment, but you're really not. And really, there's a lot of people that know this already, and with the internet, they're just going to find out more, and you're not going to shut down the internet, you know? So you need to get over it and realize that this is inevitable. It's not me, okay? I'm not the one making this all happen. But anyways, just the point of the story is that I need you to realize that there's people out there making music about me. They're talking about stalking me and my girlfriend. Going back years and years. They're talking about, and these are people that are listened to by probably a fairly decent amount of people. They're, in which really kind of begs the question of, if you're talking about us like that, I mean, it's just a way of letting me know that, you know, my life is to be taken on no certain terms, and even the people around me. You know what I mean? Because we're just letting you know, Tanner, that we know who you are, and we know who your family is, and we could kill these people. You know what I mean? Which, yeah, it's not that comforting of a thought, you know, but at the same time, I know who you are, and I'll be willing to bet that if you tried to kill me, that, you know, it's not going to be as easy as you probably think. And I'm not saying that I'm bragging, but I just want to throw it in your face, you know, that you think that you can do these things and have me wiped off the face of the earth. You're not. It's not going to happen, you know, most likely. But what will most likely happen is that as I survive and continue to survive, that I'm going to keep talking about you, man. And with what I have to say about you, being of a less of a backbiting nature than what you have to say about me, the most likely it's not going to have that kind of effect on me. So, anyways, life is fucking crazy sometimes. I mean, I got these, you know, big-nosed, hunchback New Yorkers, like the Acacia strain, that are out there trying to, make music about how they hate me, supposedly because I have a pretty girlfriend and I'm making $25,000 a year, and I think I'm all that with 100 followers on MySpace. I don't even know how you know me, or even know what you should be talking about my ass and what I think about myself. I don't understand how you have an idea in your mind about what I should feel about myself when I'm having 100 followers on my MySpace, 100 friends on MySpace, and there's no reasonable rationality in the whole world as to how you know anything about her or anything about me. You know, and I tell you what I think it has to do with is the New York scum of the earth has made up its mind that that this guy Vincent Bennett. And another thing too, I just want to tell you, Vincent has not only targeted me, but he's also targeted the lead singer of Amur, who made a song about the Bohemian Grove. And he also made some tweets against Jonathan Davis after he went on Alex Jones, who is more or less a fucking neocon of the worst possible way. Uh, he, he is a neocon. Okay, let me just put it to you like that. And he loves Donald Trump, and he loves latching on to somebody like Ted Cruz or Donald Trump, who is really a superficial neocon. And the reason why is because one year he'll be, I can say that is because one year he'll be saying Ted Cruz every single 5 minutes, and what gets me so upset is just the frantic nature of it with Alex Jones. So he's so frantic about it for like a year, like with Ted Cruz, Ted Cruz, and then a year later he's talking about how bad of like how horrible Ted Cruz is. So is Ted Cruz good or is Ted Cruz not good? But either way, but even Alex Jones, he went on Alex Jones' show, Jonathan Davis of Korn, and then Vincent made some tweets about him, immediately. What are you doing talking against the Federal Reserve? That's what he said, basically. What did he say? Something like, you're crazy, and you need to get your head on straight. This is a guy. Let me cite some of his lyrics for you of Vincent Bennett. The World Wide Web is no longer your friend. Your blood will blanket the earth. I am the shot heard around the world. Look at the world through my eyes. I won't be happy till everything dies. Everything you know is a lie. These are just some of the things that he said. And this is a person who's telling us that we need to not be paying attention to conspiracies, other musicians, and especially prominent ones. Because if you're a prominent musician and you're about to go down that road, as soon as you peel back about 3 layers of that onion, you find Vincent Bennett in that son of a bitch. That's the fact, okay? And with me, they were just like trying to bend the rules, like, what can they come up with that's gonna let them dispatch Vincent Bennett onto me. Let me tell you what it was. They sat there and they were like, oh my God, let's cut some corners on this one. Let's bend some rules. Let's get creative on this guy. And they went through there and they thought about it. And they really couldn't even do it, so they just said, okay, well, let's just uncloak on his ass and say, the hills have eyes, here we are. We want you dead. We've been watching you since you were 21 years old, when it wouldn't even make sense, and we're going to just tell you right here in front of everybody, we were out of options. And they did it right in front of you. And it's so fucking offensive, if I fucking see your ass. Oh my God. Anyways, the point of the story is that they used the girl, the woman, as an in. You know, because he's in the fucking the media world, in the hip hop and the Hollywood and the media sensation world, and she was. And you can't just in by their little rule system, you can't just attack somebody on the street as a prominent musician. It doesn't make any sense. You know, if I got 20 videos on YouTube that they're fucking crazy as shit, but you know, and they got 50 views apiece, you can't really just justify attacking me. Well, you use all this other shit to try to bring me into prominence. So then you can attack me. It's fucking ridiculous, man. And oh god, it's just sickening, man. And they really did. I'm telling you, they cut corners. They broke rules, and they're gonna piss some people off. They probably pretty much are waiting for this shit to hit the fan still. And because they literally stalk women and then told me, Jesus Christ. Oh, dude. Anyways, oh man. Anyways, the point of the story is that, what a fucking idiot. What a fucking idiot. Oh, what a fucking idiot. What a motherfucking idiot. I don't give a shit where you're from. If you come around here, you're going to realize that you're not in New York anymore. A long fucking ways away from me. I'm tired of putting up with your shit. Okay? I can't even maintain a fucking train of thought right now, which is very important to me. You know? And whenever you start doing that, then you've gotten on my bad side. Anyways, the point of the story is that just think about what I've said. Okay? They do this. Alright? They did that. And they're just believing that we're a bunch of cowardly pieces of shit, and we're going to sit there and watch them and let them and be afraid. That's what they're counting on. Okay? So when you're sitting there feeling afraid, like, I'm not going to say nothing about this, I don't care, I don't want nothing to do with this is crazy, fuck this, fuck you, Tanner, actually, you know, shit like that, just remember that somebody's counting on you to be a cowardly little piece of shit over this. Somebody said in their mind, these are cowardly little pieces of shit that are going to let us do this crazy shit in front of them. You fucking remember that. And you let that settle in and think about it. Think about what these pieces of shit are doing. Okay? Because this motherfucker's out there trying to have me killed. Okay? And he's saying really bad shit about me. And you know what? I can get on here and I can say really, really bad shit about you too, Vincent. And it's really, I feel bad for you, man. I don't even want to just sit here and try to have this motherfucker killed or nothing, because that's something that he can do and live with. I can't, okay? I just want to expose what's going on and just move on, okay? Because really, in the grand scheme of things, you're just another piece of shit. And I may pick up where I left off. I think I had something else to say, but it's all on video, so